doing well. Thank you so much for having me. Congratulations on this amazing premiere. I had the luxury of being able to check it out. One Piece. It has been going on for a very long time. I think close to what 1,200 episodes. So I think it's like in the top 10 of the most episodes in any anime series. So congratulations on that feat as well as the actual movie.
Thank you.
Yes, no problem. So with this movie, some of your characters I really love, just based off your design. Like you guys' personality kind of comes out, whether it's in your voice, whether it's through the characters, but each character has their own little stick, and I kind of really appreciate it. But I want you guys to each kind of speak to your characters in this movie versus like the series, because each one of you guys have like very interesting designs. But as far as the fighting and animation in this one, like the animation just looks amazing. Like it is probably some of the most beautiful that One Piece has ever done. But I was curious from y'all's perspective, like is with your characters in this movie, what was it that you wanted to have come out that you guys, your characters never kind of had before, as far as with their balance or whether it was the story? I was curious from each one of you guys individually.
I feel like Chopper got to do a lot more action in this movie than he normally
Oh,
does. I
yeah.
feel like he's
Yes.
typically kind of in the background being cute. But this time he like legitimately got to join in on the fight, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Usopp's not always useful, but he's useful in this one. Very useful.
Very useful. Mhm.
And he also gets to face some of his daddy issues. So it's kind of cool to see that character growth
Right.
as well.
Brook at this point, I think, has finally gained his confidence after Whole Cake and a few other things that he went through. He is just glad to be a useful part of the Straw Hats, and I think he's very comfortable by this point. And so he's just glad to go to a concert. This is gonna be fun.
Just happy to be here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Friends.
Brook was definitely the life of the part at the beginning of the movie. He was like all the way for it. He's like, Utah, let's do this. So,
Heck yeah.
as a matter of fact, even through certain other moments when they were in like peril, he was still rooting for Utah. So definitely the personality came out there, which I appreciated. But one thing about this film is the essence of family, a lot of regret and a lot of pain. And it's very emotional. I think the second act to the third act, like there's a huge transition that happens. And I was curious from y'all's perspective, not necessarily with your characters, but just the movie and the tone of it. And I talked to, Amelie, and I talked to Jim about what they had to kind of pull out to reach some of those emotional depths. But for you guys, did you guys like the emotional switch with this one, the tonal shift where it gets not just a little darker, but it's a little bit more rooted in what's going on with the person emotionally? I was curious y'all's perspective on how the movie switches like that.
Well,
I think
the series. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that's, we were probably going to say the same thing, is that happens a lot in the series as well. Just that's what makes One Piece, and what makes it such a mainstay is that it does not shy away from those deep hurtful emotions, like those intense, regrets, like you said, those pains that like honestly everyone in some way can connect with. It's just humanity, like it's just such a human, honest feeling. And I think that this movie does it in such a gorgeous and unique way. And that's kind of what blows my mind, is that Oda is able to like do that so many times and so often, both in the series and in the movies, and every time still able to make it feel so fresh and so unique and new. And it just feels like it goes deeper and deeper and deeper every time. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's almost like if it wasn't in this film, it wouldn't be a One Piece film.
Yeah.
Because that is such a key component to this show. No show has ever stirred me as an actor more than this show. I've never had to actually produce those kind of powerful emotions. And it's just so unexpected because, a show like this, I just thought I was comic relief, and I had no idea the emotional journey that this character would take me on.
And part of the glory of how Oda creates these stories is it is paced so well between the deep, heavy, serious moments and then these hilarious moments and cute moments, and they're all paced beautifully. So you get your palate cleansers right, and then you're able to emotionally dive right back in at just the right moment.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Yeah. Uh-oh, I'm having some technical issues. I'm sorry, you guys. You guys still hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so sorry. No, thank you guys so much for those answers. With this one, there's a lot of music in this. Due to that, like the actress, or actually no. So I know Amelie didn't do the vocals for it, but as far as just the vocal range of the person that did the vocals for it, it's really, it changes the tone of it with every small little moment from act 1, act 2, act 3, and everybody's kind of cheering along, but it's a deeper thing because a lot of people, their perspective on who the pirates are built off of what Yuta's perspective is, and she's missing certain things because she wasn't privy to the tragedy of her situation. But with each one of you guys as characters, do you kind of feel like the characters had like an evolution going out of it? Because I'll give you this. So Brianna, like Chopper has some of the most emotional in the series. Like there's some moments with Chopper that really hurt. I was like, oh my God, I'm crying. Like, and the same thing when I think about with your character, Sonny, like he got to have a moment with his dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you hadn't seen the series, you know, you wouldn't know, you know, how deep this really is. But I think that with the music, there's kind of like a transition that kind of happens. And I feel like the characters evolve throughout the course of this movie, not just from the series, but just in this movie. So if it's kind of like a person never seen One Piece before and they saw this movie, they would understand like a piece of each character is like, okay, they had their moment and this is their progression. I was curious y'all's perspective on that. I could be.
Yeah, we all had a moment to shine, more than a moment to shine. Yeah, it was I mean, I like when they actually they show what a great team the crew is, you know, and how well they work together. I mean, we've been a crew for quite a long time now. We'd better be working well together, you know.
I think, Samuel, you actually brought up a good point, which is like, because of the way that the movie is written and those journeys are portrayed, you actually don't necessarily need to know everything from the series to be able to enjoy it. So this actually would be a great movie to introduce yourself to One Piece.
And if you like it, you've got tons of material waiting for you.
Much.
Right. You're like, oh, I need more of this immediately.
Yeah, we got plenty.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much. Congratulations on this big accomplishment. I know it's going to be a smack hit with everybody, and y'all celebrate. You deserve it.
Falling out the top of the